there was a near incident with, they have, I don't know, Power Wheels or whatever, like the things you sit in and ride.
Power Wheels.
That's the one.
Cool.
So the ones these days, they have, like, at least the one they have, my neighbors have, it has like a remote control. So if your kid's doing something that they shouldn't be doing, you can stop it, you can turn it, you can... Yeah.
You got the driver instructor brake.
Yeah, exactly.
Always press.
That's pretty useful.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It's super great. But then my boy got into it and started driving, and there were like other parents that were there, and I just assumed that they had the remote. But then I looked up, and he's like kind of out of control, and another 3-year-old is holding the remote, and I'm like, oh no. And then he starts like barreling towards the house and into like, there's like this, big toy box of toys and kids and stuff. And so he has no control and has no idea what to do. And so I had to grab the thing by like the frame and just stop it because it wouldn't stop it any other way. Ugh.
You didn't barrel roll off of that thing?
Yeah,
in future iterations of this story.
Yeah. He did a flip. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, and then it smashed into the house. Yeah.
There was a large explosion.
Flames. Yeah. And he was walking away while it exploded. Right. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Didn't even look back.
Yeah.
Nope.
Lit up a cigarette.
Yeah, so just prepare to...
It'll be great.
It'll be perfect. Yeah, so just prepare to...
Y'all motherfuckers don't watch us play throughout the year, to tell you the truth. I'm gonna be real with you, and I don't care if I get fined.
That train is off the track.
I feel like you can't just like jump through Neptune and be okay.
Just prepare to.
What the show needs is more dogs and bears and chickens and stuff.
Yeah, so just prepare to be awash in unbeatable goodness.
Welcome, Pacers fans. You are listening to the Undebeatables, your semi-weekly Pacers podcast. Today is October 12th, 2024, and this is episode 721. Coming to you from Indianapolis, Indiana, I'm your host, Joey Gaffrida, the man behind the dials. This show, we're going to discuss the Eastern Conference. We're going to talk about the previews for all the teams and think about how each team is going to do this season. Joining me this show are all three of our analysts, coast to coast, like buttered toast. First, from the high school home of Jameson Brewer, Silver Spring, Maryland, it's the doctor, Jason Triplett.
What is up, Pacers fans? What is up, Undebeatables? Shout out to Indigenous Peoples Day. Hopefully some of you have a 3-day weekend. Colson's got it
on lock for us.
30-day weekend.
Yeah, I got you. I'll celebrate for everybody.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
From his wonderful, relaxing vacation in Asheville, North Carolina, it's our in-house bartender.
From the ashes of Asheville, North Carolina.
Sean Colson.
What is up, Pacer Nation? What is up, Undebeatables? A few shout-outs. One to Jason, the doctor, who had a birthday.
Happy birthday.
And apparently just had a good fast as well. So happy birthday, buddy. And then to the woman behind the man behind the dials. Catherine just had surgery, so wishing her well. And to our new overlord, Zorg, who is on his way to a party shortly.
Happy Halloween.
It's never too early to start celebrating weird holidays.
Yeah. We were at Costco, I think, and they had Christmas stuff out already, and I used to be outraged by this, but I'm over it. At this point, I don't care. They can start Christmas whenever they want. They can do anything whenever they want.
It's your fault for going to a store.
Well, To be fair, I
You're
didn't want to
encouraging
go.
them.
I bought none of it. I bought none of that, and I didn't want to be there in the first place.
Thumbed your nose at the whole operation.
I did.
But you got those free snacks, right?
I didn't.
What?
I was chasing a child around the store and was really trying to get to the exit as quickly as I could.
We're glad you made it out.
Yeah, thank you. Well, before we get in...
Got sidetracked.
What's up?
You missed Harper.
But you introduced me as Zerg.
Okay, good call.
Yeah, I thought we were...
We're past
done.
that. Okay.
Yeah, Zerg from Tacoma.
All right.
We good.
Zerg from Tacoma, Washington, out west. Sergeant Forster, otherwise known as John Harper.
What is going on, fellas? Shouting out preseason basketball. What is happening?
Yeah.
It was actually had a pretty fun game for preseason.
Mm-hmm. Buzzer beater and whatnot.
Yeah,
Well, just about, yeah.
came down to the wire. Looked pretty competitive out there. It was fun, and Atlanta sucks. So.
Well, thank you, Zorg. Before we get into the show, we'd just like to remind listeners that they can support the longest running Pacers podcast, which is us, by heading over to patreon.com/undebeatables. And you can support our show for as little as $1 per month. So, as you have likely heard, as I'm assuming every listener that listens to every show, the last one, we did a preview for the Western Conference. So, as we do every year, we do the West, and then we do the Eastern Conference. So, Jason, are you ready to lead us into this brave new world of the 2024-2025 Eastern Conference Basketball Association? Preview?
You stuck the landing, buddy. You just nailed it.
You've been doing a lot of solo parenting, so cut you a break. Yes, very ready, very ready. Just like for the Western Conference this year, we're going to do it in order of franchise leaders and assists, starting with whoever had the most assists for their single franchise. I thought it went well last week, so we'll stick with that. So first up is a dude that dished out 9,061 assists for the Detroit Pistons.
Oh, Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, Zeke, not Zorg, Zeke. And I'm on the Pistons, actually. I took the bullet. I fell on the sword for the team to take the Pistons. The Pistons last year were 14-68.
Just reference any of the last 5 years of this team.
For dead last in the entire league.
You said 14, not 40, right?
Yeah, 14-1-4. They set a record for the longest losing streak in NBA history at 28 games, I believe it was. They did some things in the offseason to try to fix that. They got a new GM. They got a new coach, JB Bickerstaff, fresh off his firing in Cleveland. Because, when you're Detroit, you just take the cast-offs of other teams.
From Cleveland.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Whoa.
But they did make some other moves to get some actual NBA players. So they signed Malik Beasley as a free agent. They traded for Tim Hardaway. They signed Tobias Harris as a free agent. And they drafted Ron Holland II with the number 5 pick in the draft. They lost some guys, Taj Gibson, Quentin Grimes, and James Wiseman.
Did they lose those guys, though?
Right, exactly, yeah. So
they weren't looking very hard.
Yeah. So we're looking at a crunch time 5 of Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, probably Malik Beasley, Tobias Harris, and Jalen Duren, who sort of turned it on towards the end of last year. And then off the bench, Asar Thompson, who was our first-round draft pick last year, Isaiah Stewart, Probably Ron Holland Jr., Tim Hardaway Jr., if he's got stuff left. Yeah, I mean, they have actual professional basketball players here. They have a coach that should at least play to his contract better than their previous coach, who was the most expensive head coach and led them to a 14-68 record. I'll give them 22 games. I think they could do that. They have professional basketball players, but they're not like, Tobias Harris isn't taking it too far. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't know, Harper. What do you think about the Pistons?
I also don't like Duke, and didn't Trajan Langdon go there, their new GM? So.
Yeah, so Trajan Langdon is their new GM. Yep.
So, yeah, minus points for that. I'll take away 2 wins. So I'm at 20. But still better than 14. I mean, it's hard to rip off 28 straight losses. They can't be worse.
I don't think they're going to be worse, but I got them at 15. I mean, I just don't care.
Wow.
It's definitely hard to break that losing culture, but boy, that would be... I hope you're right. That would be hilarious.
Joey, what does Vegas think about the Pistons?
I mean, I didn't think it was going to be like this, but Jason is the highest, right? So Vegas has about 22.5.
22.5, that looks like an under.
That's a consensus under.
That is an under. I feel like that might be a stay away. 22 is so few.
Yeah, it's true.
22 is very few. And there's there's a bunch of like crappy teams in the East, as we'll get to, so they're bound to pick up a few wins against the other crappy teams. Yeah, I don't know.
Or they might get 15.
Hey, 15.
Feeling pretty good about my number.
Let's see. So the Boston Celtics are next up. Their leading assister dished out 6,945 assists in his career. Guesses on who that might be?
Seems like probably a koozie.
It is a koozie.
Nice.
Yeah, just like this one.
Heyo.
Harper's got the Celts.
Yeah, well, probably everybody knows about the Celtics. After their 64-win season, they marched through the playoffs without much trouble and hung another banner. They, in the offseason, got busy making sure that their team was locked in. They paid Derek White and Jaylen Brown. They will trot out a starting five Derek White, Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and if healthy, Kristaps Porzingis. Off the bench, Pritchard, Hauser, Horford, Cornette, and whatever, awesome contributions they get from some dude you've never heard of, because that's how the Boston Celtics do it. But they're the best team in the league. They're going to win a bunch of games, and everybody's going to be hard-pressed to keep another set of rings off those fingers. I personally have them taking a little bit of a step back. They had a few guys playing in the Olympics. Maybe they'll just be a little tired. Got them falling back to 58.
All the way back to 58. Wow.
Yeah, just lowly 58, but also more than anybody else in the Eastern Conference for me. So.
Gotcha. Colson, what do you think?
Yeah, I've got them leading the East as well. I got them at 62 wins. They can win as many as they want, but I feel like 62 is going to get them the best record in the league, and they don't have to. They also don't have to integrate new pieces. This is just going to be a well-oiled machine. This is. I'm worried about anybody beating them right now.
Horford's old, and you can't play Porzingis very much. They'll rest some guys.
There you go.
I feel like you just took those wins directly from Detroit and put them into Boston.
That's yeah.
Probably true.
At least 3.
Yeah, they're definitely going to take games off. Who was it? Jaylen Brown was saying as much in an interview. He was like, no offense to the Pistons, but, when we play the Pistons, we're going to get, Cornette's going to get 30 and, we'll let Pritchard go off and, just throw him under the bus. I agree with you guys. I think these guys are head and shoulders above everybody else, and they somehow had the best record in the league last year, won the title, and they're coming in with the chip on their shoulder because Jason Tatum didn't play in the Olympics. Jaylen Brown got left off of the Olympics team, so everybody was saying that it was the easiest championship because everybody got hurt in the Eastern Conference. They didn't have to play Denver. So they'll be focused enough. So I got them at 61. Right. What's Vegas say, Joey?
58.5.
Ooh.
Ooh, feels low.
Yeah,
For
I
a
think
big
that's
market?
juicy. I think we should take the over on that.
I don't know. I kind of agree with Harper. It's like a stay away to some degree. I mean, Porzingis isn't going to play for the first
Month.
2 months. I
Yeah.
think.
2 months, yeah.
So
Horford's like 50.
yeah, that's true. Next up, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Their leading assister has dished out 6,228 assists in his time in Cleveland. Yeah, LeBron. It's LeBron.
That's a question.
Joseph is on the Cavs.
Well, last year, a very similar team went 48-34, finishing 4th in the East. I think this team is going to be, hopefully, similar and a little bit better. They re-signed Donovan Mitchell. They gave him a big old honking extension. And new coach Kenny Atkinson, who, I mean, I think has got the team is, as I said, the team is very similar to what it's been. So it shouldn't be a big shakeup there. If Darius Garland can stay healthy, I think they're going to be good. Their starting five is likely Mitchell, Garland, Max Strus, Evan Mobley, and Jarrett Allen. We saw a lot of them last year, and they gave us a run for our money. Other roster changes, there's really Isaiah Mobley went to Philly, but besides that, it was mostly people that aren't going to be seeing many minutes. So Vegas has Cleveland at 47.5, and that puts them 6th in the East. Sorry.
Okay.
Colson, what are your thoughts on the Cavaliers?
Last year, I really thought that they were one of the most terrifying teams we played. They just looked really dangerous, offensively and defensively. I think signing long-term Donovan Mitchell gives a little bit of stability to this franchise. But he may not be playing for a contract this year. I mean, he's definitely not, so it might be a little bit different. Mobley, I think, will continue to get better. I think he's a special player. But I'm with you. I think they're kind of the same team they were last year. It's incredibly dangerous, quality team. I'm giving them 48 wins like they had last year.
Well, I'm a believer in Kenny Atkinson for some reason. I think he's a really good coach. Not that J.B. Bickerstaff was a bad coach necessarily, but I think that, that's a step up for them. I think consistency is good for them. The key for them is health, right? They constantly have dudes going in and out of the lineup. If they can stay healthier and have their top 5 dudes, and get a rhythm, then I think they'll be really good. I actually think I have them as my second best team in the Eastern Conference.
Nice. I like that.
I think they need to pick up another big guy at some point because Allen's going to go down for some stretch at some point. And, Mobley can, defend the rim, but, he's still figuring out this league. So, yeah, I'm at 54 wins.
Okay. I'm not mad at that.
Harper, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I also have health circled for this team. It just, they got bit by the injury bug last year, and, I feel like that is who this team is. I don't worry too much about Donovan Mitchell in a non-contract year. I think he's a legit superstar in this league. I just think he's that guy. And Evan Mobley will continue to improve. He's super scary. I got him at 50. I just am not convinced that the health is going to be there. But if they are healthy at the right time, come a playoff run, they're going to be trouble for whoever runs into them.
I agree. So that's a consensus over for us We
Feel
are
good
all
about that
on the
one for sure.
Cavaliers bandwagon.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up with that? I think the Cavs are going to be somebody to be reckoned with, and I mean, I think they can play with anybody in the league when they're clicking, you know.
They can. I mean, I think the East, as we go through this, at least my read on it is that there's the Celtics, and then there's like a chunk of probably 6 teams that are all equally about 50 win-ish teams, or could be 50 win-ish teams. And so how those sort out, I think, is going to differ a little bit.
Should be an interesting year in the East.
Between us. Yeah.
Right. For sure.
All right, next up, the Philadelphia 76ers. Their top guys dished out 6,212 assists.
Is it Paul George?
No, it's
Not yet.
Not yet, my friend. Spoiler alert.
Didn't Mo Cheeks play for them?
Yeah, Mo Cheeks.
Well done.
Probably leads in steals too, if I had to guess.
Probably, yeah.
I was thinking Ben Simmons was the other one.
Yeah, close.
He was up there. All right, Colson's on the Sixers. You didn't have internet, and so I made you do the team that had the most transactions in the offseason.
I appreciate that. Yeah, thanks. I did a little bit of cramming here beforehand, but yeah, we got this. Last year, Philly won 47 games under new head coach Nick Nurse. They lost in the first round against the New York Knicks 4-2. Maxey and Embiid were brilliant in the playoffs, averaging 30 points a game. But Tobias Harris was an absolute no-show. And for that, he gone.
You go.
They brought in a shit ton of people because basically everybody was off the roster except Embiid and Maxey. They brought in Paul George to be their missing piece. They brought in Andre Drummond, who, if we talked about recently, was averaging 18 rebounds a game per 36 minutes last year. He is Embiid injury insurance. They also got Caleb Martin, who's good. They're going to play him as a big forward, and he's only 6'5". And then they got a slew of reasonable, decent guards like Reggie Jackson, Eric Gordon, and they drafted Jared McCain, who everybody's high on. I guess nobody's really not high on their draft picks at this point of the year, but he might actually see some minutes. And then they got Gurshu Yabusele from France. He's a power forward center, and he dunked on LeBron in the Olympics. So people are excited about him. Lots of new faces, but it's going to end up being the Maxey and Embiid show, plus a little Paul George. Looks like Kelly Oubre and Caleb Martin are going to round out the starting lineup. And then we got like a Kyle Lowry, maybe a McCain or a Gordon or a Jackson. And of course, your Andre Drummond, who's probably going to get a lot of starts this year with Embiid's health. I think it's a solid team, but it's a bunch of new moving parts. Embiid is super dominant when healthy. Last year, he was averaging like a point and a half a minute or something. It was something that hadn't been seen since Wilt Chamberlain. And I think Paul George helps in the regular season. He'll, not help them once they hit the playoffs, but I've got him at 50 wins.
Yeah. I mean, I think I saw this very similar to you. Everything's fine until Embiid goes down for a month and or Paul George goes down for a month. Yeah. But last year they were decent even when Embiid wasn't playing because Maxey was so good. I think that now that they have like 2 guys, basically, like if only one of those 3 guys goes down, then I think they can still keep the ship afloat much better than they did last year, I think. So, yeah, I got them at 52, which I think is the 3rd best for me. Harper, what you got?
Well, I had them at 50. I was going to go to 51. They should be better. I mean, on paper, they're better, right? I mean, they kind of don't have a 4, but they do have Embiid. So who cares? And also, it'd be hilarious if they make Paul George play 4, which I'm really waiting for that conversation.
I'm really hoping they do that.
I cannot wait for that to happen. But this should be a really good team if Embiid can play 65 games for them. And I think he'll have that, high up on his priority list to at least get to 60 so that he can be in MVP conversations this year. They might not have enough balls on the court for these guys, but, they're going to be good. I'll take 53. Screw it.
Nice.
Joseph, what does Vegas say?
Right in there. Vegas got them at 52.5 games. So.
Ooh, I split us.
Yeah, you did.
But I did lock Joey in, so
Yeah,
makes me
hey,
happy.
good work.
And that's why we're here, right?
Yeah.
If we let Joey win another one of these, I think Vegas' numbers.
Doesn't he win every year?
Pretty much. Which is why Vegas has so many tall buildings.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, next up, the Charlotte Hornets. Any guesses at who the leading assister in Charlotte Hornets history is?
Muggsy
Which history is
Bogues.
Yeah, nailed it.
Nice.
5,557 assists.
Good on
Dished
him.
out as a Hornet.
That's awesome.
I am on the Hornets this
Ooh, you
year.
took another bullet for us.
I know, right? I'm telling you. Hornets went 21-61 last year, which was good enough for 13th in the Eastern Conference. Big news over the offseason. Well, later in this, they made a big trade at the trade deadline last year and brought in some dudes that kicked our butts in a game that I remember. They signed Miles Bridges to an extension for 3 years, $75 million. They brought in Taj Gibson and Josh Green, and
Still
they
playing.
drafted some dude named Tijani Salaoun with the 6th pick in the draft. Last year, the sort of the silver lining for them was Brandon Miller, who was their number 1 draft pick the previous year. He was, did some amazing things on the court. Will continue to get better. LaMelo Ball is still there. They got Grant Williams, and they also have Mark Williams, which will probably round out their starting lineup along with Bridges. They got Seth Curry there to shoot some threes. They got Cody Martin still kicking around. Taj Gibson, maybe we'll see the floor, but doubtful. And then the other, sad news for this podcast is Steve Clifford, the Big Red coach, is gone. And replaced with somebody named Charles Lee, who was an assistant coach for the Bucks and then the Celtics.
He's a
winning
Revolutionary War
championships
general.
with both of those guys. That's right. But it's all up to how many games LaMelo Ball can play, right? Like, when he plays, they're legit good. Like, they can play with almost anybody, but he just is not on the court a lot. And, I don't like the mojo of the Miles Bridges extension.
No.
That's just the thing that I don't like. So I think they are the second worst team. No, not quite the second worst team. They're one of the crappy teams.
They're one of the
I have them at 23.
23. Okay.
I keep forgetting about all the other ones. I'm like, oh yeah, we still haven't gotten to the Wizards yet. Harper, what do you think?
All that stuff. And so LaMelo played 75 2 years ago, 30 or 3 years ago, then 36, then 22. He is supposedly healthy and scored 24 points in 23 minutes in a preseason game. So maybe that's good news for Charlotte fans. I had him at 25, but I have to start taking away wins from teams now because I gave away 3 just now to Philly. So they're down 1 to 24.
Cool. Colson?
I like Brandon Miller. The Bridges thing is awful. No one was bidding on him. Why did they extend him 3 years? A PR disaster. I don't care. 15 wins.
Tied with Detroit.
That's right.
All right, Vegas. Joey, what does Vegas have him at?
I mean, you guys have all seen the improvements in AI, and I think the Hornets are going to benefit from that. 15 wins, Colson.
I don't care, Joe. They're gonna suck.
I mean, I get it.
They're gonna suck. I will take the under on whatever number you give me.
It's significantly over what you're saying. 27 and a half.
27.
I will take the under. Yeah. I will lock that in.
I mean, if LaMelo plays 80 games.
Yes, if he plays 80 games,
win 30.
They could win 34 games. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Oh, God.
All right. My notes for this next team are this stupid team. It's the Miami Heat. Who's got the most assists in Miami Heat history?
LeBron. Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
Oh, Dwayne Wade.
One of those.
Yep. Nice. 5,310 he dished out.
Wait.
Good on him.
Udonis Haslem.
He has been there forever.
He was there the longest for sure. Joey is going to tell us about this stupid team.
So this stupid team went last year 46 and 36, ended 8th in the East. This season we have new faces: Alec Burks, Nasir Little, Kel'el Ware, Pelle Larson. Caleb Martin is out. DeLon Wright is out. Patty Mills is out. Orlando Robinson probably going to Orlando. I don't know, but I mean, Jimmy Butler. This is still Jimmy Butler's team, and Bam Adebayo is his partner, and Spoelstra is still around, of course, because he and Pop are the ones that get to hang out and try things. And I think Spoelstra is one of those coaches that does matter. Last season was, a little bit of a disappointment for them, but Spoelstra knows how to get these teams to overperform. They have a good level of talent, but like we've been talking about through this show, there's going to be the Celtics, a big chunk of teams, and then Charlotte and Detroit. And this is going to be one of those teams, I think, vying for the top half of the bracket. But that being said, I got them just over 500 at 44 and a half games in that chunk of Eastern Conference in the middle.
Yeah, they're a good team. I hate to say it. They're always a good team. And I'm right there with you. I'm slightly over. I got them at 45. I mean, the other thing is, they'll probably make a move mid-season, just like they did last year, to get slightly better. Yeah. Colson, what do you think?
I don't like the vibes of this team right now. We've got Pat Riley basically calling the team out, being like the regular season does matter, but we know it doesn't matter to Jimmy Butler. I'm not sure he's the kind of guy I would want leading my franchise and still being, Joey described it as his team. I think this should probably quickly move on to Bam's team and turn the page. They brought in Valanciunas, didn't they? They brought in a huge white dude, I think. Does he fit next to Bam? They re-signed Thomas Bryant.
Are you thinking of Jovic?
Jovic.
Yeah, they drafted him a couple years ago.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Big, goofy white dude. The Thomas Bryant, they brought him back. They weren't bidding against anybody. I'm not sure. They were just trying to hold together the team as people peeled off, like Caleb Martin, Patty Mills. I just think there's something stinky. I think this is the year they fall apart. But because Spoelstra is one of the coaches that matter, there's no way he's going to coach a team that can't win at least half its games. I got him at 41 wins. I think this is the end of the Jimmy Butler Miami era, though.
Interesting. Harper, what do you think?
I mean, they didn't get better on paper for sure. It is worth mentioning that Kel'el Ware is not nicknamed Superman yet, but that has to happen soon, right? Hello?
Yeah, I think it does.
All right, so that's good news that they drafted Superman. Not going to help him this year. I got him at 44. Just sort of a stay away. they're gonna beat up on bad teams. They're Jimmy and Tyler Hero missed games last year, so it's gonna depend on who's playing. But they just play such good defense.
They don't have a point guard. Does that bother anybody?
Doesn't matter. When was it? They haven't had a point guard for 8 years.
Yeah,
They used to have Gordon Dragic. They used to love
They
the
had him
Dragon.
for like a year and a half or something.
yeah, and he played for a third of that.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't play very good offense, right?
Yeah.
But they do score in the open court and they force a lot of turnovers. So they're tough in the regular season. They'll beat you,
All right.
but that's a split.
Yeah, for sure. Next up, the Washington Wizards. Who's the leading assister in Wizards history?
John Wall.
Hey, nailed it. I was surprised by that.
Yeah, I was going to go with Wes Unseld.
He was most rebounds for sure. 5,282 assists John Wall dished out.
He was there a long time.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Harper. I stuck you with the Wizards. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. You took some tough ones. We won't make you do the Wizards. Last year, they did everything they could to chase down the Detroit Pistons, but couldn't quite eclipse their league low 14 wins. They did manage to get just 15 games last year. They bad. They re-signed Rashawn Holmes, Tristan Vucevic, and Anthony Gill for some reason.
Well, you got to have an Anthony Gill on your team.
They added Sadiq Bey. They've got Malcolm Brogdon for his 20 games this year. And they picked up goofy white dude Jonas Valanciunas.
That's who picked up Goofy White.
Yeah.
Dude.
They did have a bunch of draft picks in the worst draft in a decade. So if you're a big Alex Sarr fan, maybe you like them more.
I guess I like that more.
He shot point. What was it in the preseason? He's like shooting under 20% from the floor, and he's like 7 feet tall. It's amazing.
And like the people that they lost, like Denny Avia, Tyus Jones, Landry Shamet, like they're not great players, but they are better than you think they are. Like those are kind of their best dudes on some level. They're going to be super terrible again. They're going to trot out a starting five. Let me look this up because I don't know who any of these people are. We got Jordan Poole, Corey Kispert, Kyle Kuzma, either Alex Sarr or Bilal Koulibaly at 4. They're both, their first, second year guys. And then Jonas Valanciunas. And then, I don't know, they'll try and find minutes for bench guys, I guess. I don't know. This is just not an NBA team. They'll go as far as Kyle Kuzma can take them.
Sure.
So I had them at 15. But
now you're reading this.
I did have those. I did have those wins that I got to claw back now. So I'm gonna give them the 14 that they were aiming for last year.
Wow. I'll do you one better and give them 15 wins.
Oh, I thought you were going to go the
I
other
thought,
way.
yeah, I did too.
There are 5 teams I don't
apparently
care
I'm
about. They
high
all
on
get
these two
15
guys.
wins. You've now figured my system out.
They have Malcolm Brogdon, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I think Brogdon will start for them. Yeah.
I mean, when he's
yeah.
healthy.
Yeah,
When he's healthy.
for his 20 games, sure.
Good point. My notes on them are still shitty, but less so, I think. Yeah, Valanciunas is legit. I got him at a whopping 18 wins.
Oh, you're high on the home team.
Yeah,
It's a homer.
He's got to go watch them all the time. So.
that's right. Yeah. Joey, what does Vegas think? Vegas is
I don't know what you guys are seeing. Do you remember what Jordan Poole said? He said, my basketball legacy has been taken care of with the ring. He's a championship winner.
That's true.
Nothing else to prove.
Nope.
It's taken care of.
Yeah.
So
Hall of Famer.
yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's the top dog on this team because he's seen what it takes for other people to win championships. So Vegas does have him a little higher. We've got him at 22.5 wins.
Is there any possible way? 22 is not very many wins. It's not very many wins.
If you get 80 games out of Brogdon and Valanciunas each, not total.
And Kuzma has another amazing year last year.
Yeah,
like
then
last year.
maybe.
Yeah, okay.
If everything breaks right at every chance, and nothing wrong goes wrong at any point, they'll get 22, 23 wins, no problem.
Wow.
Woof.
Yeah. All right. On that note, let's take a break. I think that's enough for a half. Need to go take a break and wash that salad taste out of my mouth. But hey, maybe I'll get some nice cheap tickets. That'll be nice.
There you go. Are they still in the phone booth?
Yeah, well, it's Capital One Arena now.
Oh.
So I don't know what the nickname is, but
The wallet.
Wallets.
All right, see you in a minute.
We are back from the break. Jason, which one of the hosts has won the first half? Can you give us a score recap?
Well, it's close. I'll tell you what. But Colson is running away with this thing. He has given out 15 wins to 3 different teams, which I don't think we've ever seen on the podcast before. And I'm hoping for more. There's potential for more 15-win teams out here, I think.
I like
We'll
it.
see in this second half as we go forward. All right. Next up, the Chicago Bulls. Who's the leading assister in Chicago Bulls history?
Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
Just go with
Michael.
the best guy.
The Jordan. 5,012 assists he had. Second place, Pippen with 4,494. Not far behind.
Second best guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Colson, you have the hated Chicago Bulls.
Oh, I accidentally wrote down that they won 49 wins last year, and I'm like, that cannot be true. So last year the Bulls won 39 games.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, exactly. Way more sense. My heart skipped a beat. My God. They beat the Hawks in the first play-in game, and then lost the second play-in game to the Heat, so did not make the playoffs proper. They were led in points last year by DeMar DeRozan. He gone. They also had Alex Caruso, who was great for them, and he also gone. They did bring in Josh Giddey, who probably works better for their system than a DeMar DeRozan, who Giddey's good for the offensive rhythm, I'm guessing. Kobe White last year had a breakout year, averaged 19, 5, and 5. He's coming back. So their crunch time is going to be Kobe White, Josh Giddey, Zach LaVine, Patrick Williams, and Nikola Vucevic. I really like their bench, their depth. They got Pacers' Jalen Smith. They got Torrey Craig, who we all know and love. They got Ayo Dosunmu, who I'm a fan of. Lonzo Ball, if he ever stays healthy. When I was going over this team, I liked it more than I thought I would. I don't think Zach LaVine is the kind of guy that's going to ever be the best player on a championship team, but he's decent. And I think they're going to win 43 wins this year. I'm excited about the Bulls.
43.
I'm excited about the Bulls.
Wow. High on the Bulls.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like their squad. I like their depth. I'm in.
Ooh. Well, this will be interesting. I had a different view of this.
Yeah.
I did not understand the Giddey trade at all. Like, I like Giddey, but I think he just is now going to take the ball out of Kobe White's hands or Ayo Dosunmu's hands. They also have a couple other former Pacers. Chris Duarte, old A-Track, is on their
Hell
squad.
yeah. Hell yeah.
And you mentioned that Giddey will help their system work better, but I didn't. What was their system? Their system is give it to Levine or DeRozan and let them do things, I guess. I don't know.
I'm just hoping that that's not the system anymore. I'm hoping that Giddey helps move the ball around a little bit more is what I'm hoping. I think splitting up DeRozan and Levine was good for the team, I guess is my thesis.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't think this team is good. I think they're actually going to trade Levine halfway through the season if they can, and sort of finally try to bottom out, which is what they need to do. I mean, they're always around 38 to 42 wins, which is like the worst place you can be. So I think they'll be successful in that. I have them at 32 wins.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
You like them way better than I do.
Oh, jeez.
They don't want the best player on their team. They want Zach LaVine gone, and he's stuck there because nobody else wants him either.
Right, that's true.
And Billy Donovan is their coach, so they get 25.
25. Wow.
They're
Yeah,
gonna buy.
there's a guy.
It's
Why
time
does
to
Billy Donovan still have a job? I don't understand that.
Right.
clear. Kobe White is probably the only reason he has a job.
Right.
After this conversation, I'd like to go down to 40 wins.
Okay. All right. Joey, where does Vegas have the Bulls? We're all over the map over here. So
Yeah, this is one of the biggest spreads we've had in a while.
yeah.
Colson, what did you have?
I had 43. I'm going with 40 now. We're going with 40.
Oh, you know what? It's Apocalypse Madness he's got.
Well, you had me study the team, and I think I got excited by Patrick
Getting rid of
Williams.
DeRozan?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Torrey Craig and Jalen Smith and Duarte. I think I just was rooting for.
Yeah, they do have a bunch of X-Pacers. It's true. Yeah.
But despite that, I still got them at 30.5 wins. These are guys
30 and a
that ran to the
half.
30.5.
Wow.
Whoa.
I'm mad that I'm over.
You heard the things that were coming out of your mouth, right? Like, you basically
This is why I should check with Vegas before I do these things. That is insane.
No. You made the same argument that we all did, but you came up with a way higher number.
Oh, this might be a stay away or just ignore me.
Or you stay away.
The vibes are not good in Chicago. So.
Yeah, they're not great.
Well, they're going to beat us twice this year, no matter what.
Oh, well, for sure.
That's just what they do, yeah.
Count on that. No, I'm dismissing that fact, you know.
They get 2 wins from us.
Yeah.
We'll lose to Charlotte once as well. Like, you know.
Right.
All right, next up, the New York Knickerbockers. Leading a sister in Knickerbocker history.
I want it to be Mark
Walt.
Jackson.
As Walt Frazier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Clyde Frazier. 4,791, if you're
Oh,
keeping track.
Mark's got to be close.
It's a good question. I didn't look that
close.
one up.
Yeah.
Let's see. Knicks. I'm on the Knicks. Okay. Last year, Knicks went 50-32. They lost in the second round to your Indiana Pacers.
Woo!
In a war of attrition. They were just losing people by the fistful as the playoffs went on. Jalen Brunson really broke out as an alpha dog superstar in this league, scoring 40 plus in multiple playoff games. But the Knicks weren't satisfied with running it back, so they made some moves in the offseason. They made a lot of moves, actually. They made a big trade with Brooklyn to get Mikal Bridges. They brought in Cameron Payne from the Philadelphia 76ers. They made another big trade just before the season started with Minnesota, sending Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo out in exchange for Karl Anthony Towns. They also lost in free agency Isaiah Hartenstein. So that leaves them with a crunch time 5 of Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, and when healthy, Robinson. What's his first name? I'm blanking on his first name. Mitchell Robinson. There you go. And then you got Josh Hart off the bench, Miles McBride, Cam Payne. I'll probably play some minutes. Precious Achua. actually showed well when he got on the floor in that Pacers series. They are deep. People are very excited about this team because, of course, they're in New York and half of the media are New York Knicks fans. I think that these moves are... I really like the Bridges move, but then I did not like the Towns move. And I think that they letting Hartenstein go, which maybe they couldn't afford to keep him, I don't know, but they're going to miss him a lot. Like, he did a lot for them, keeping possessions alive. And Mitchell Robinson is always hurt. So essentially, Karl Anthony Towns is now your center. He's your de facto rim defender. And trade secret, he's not a rim defender. And, it's the same thing. Like, Tibbs is going to run him into the ground. He's going to trust 6 guys, and that's it. And he didn't get along with Karl Anthony Towns previously when he was his coach in Minnesota. So unless Karl Anthony Towns has had a major shift in his attitude towards basketball, I don't know that that's going to work out super well. I have them still as a very good team, but on a downtick a little bit. I have them at 48 wins. And maybe that's a little bit of New York hater aid, but it is what it is. Harper, what do you think?
I think they got better. While Karl Anthony Towns may not be a perfect solution for this team, I mean, they did what they did without Julius Randle last year, and certainly he was having problems with that organization as it was. So it maybe just felt like they had to do something. A full season with, your perimeter defenders of Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, and Bridges. I mean, these guys could be really nasty. The only hope maybe for us in the East is that it just takes a little while to gel. And, of course, that Tibbs runs them into the ground and makes them hate basketball after 60 games. But, I think that they're so darn talented. This is a really scary team. I got them at 52. Like I said, maybe it takes a little bit of a while to gel, but I don't want to see them in the first round.
Yeah, you want to see them in the second round when a couple dudes have gotten injured.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. When OG is out for the rest of the playoffs.
That's right.
Yeah. Or maybe even in the finals after we've dispatched Boston. That would be
That's right. That's right.
Colson, what do you think?
I was really glad to see, as a Pacer fan, DiVincenzo go. I learned to hate him during that playoff series. I feel like that bodes well for us.
Josh Hart's still there.
I know. Josh Hart's still there. And I do like Bridges. I'm with you. I like that pickup. The Cat thing, if he could stay healthy, it does improve them because, Randall wasn't able to stay healthy. So I've got them better. I agree with you that they will get worn down at some point. But, everybody's going to be excited for this new team. And they definitely went out and got names and got depth. And I've got them at 53 wins.
All right. I'm the low man there. Joey, what does Vegas think?
53? You were out of your mind. I got them at 52 and a half. No, yeah, this is gonna be a dangerous team when healthy, as you guys have said, and
Brunson is so good. He's so unstoppable.
And clearly, he's clearly committed to this team because he took that, he took a huge pay cut so they could sign all these other guys, and that generally plays out well for these teams. So, and yeah, it just takes over. He just takes over playoff games as he does. So,
if they had kept Hartenstein and hadn't given away DiVincenzo, I know that's a lot of things, but I would pick them to rival Boston. Like, I think those 2 losses did hurt them, hurt their depth, and they hurt some energy motor guys.
Mm-hmm. Next up, the Brooklyn Nets. Let's stay in the 5 boroughs here. Leading assister in Nets history.
Ooh.
Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
Jason Kidd, yeah.
4,620 of his 10,000 plus or whatever total assists he had. For the Nets, Joey's going to tell us about the Nets.
Well, the Brooklyn Nets last year were not great. 32 wins, and out of the playoffs. This season, they traded away Mikal Bridges, and I don't know. This team's crap.
Their only good player is gone.
So they're basically, they seem like they're just deep in tank mode, and Vegas is looking at 21.5 wins. I'm assuming Colson's on 15.
I'm on 15, sir.
I was assuming so as well. I wanted to hear from him. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, these guys are not good, and they're going to be worse than they were last year.
They got like 6 draft picks from New York, so it's good for the future. The future is not now.
I guess Nick Claxton, Ben Simmons, Schroeder's there.
These are names. These are names of people.
Bogey's there.
Bojan Bogdanovic left with the Knicks and then went to Brooklyn. Zaire Williams, Shake Milton, that's a name.
Killian Hayes.
Yeah.
Somebody
Ben
you've
Simmons
heard of?
still kicking around.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, I am gonna undercut you, Colson. I got him at 14.
Wow. Well
They're the worst team
done.
in the league. Harper, what you got?
I don't want to talk about him anymore. I got 18.
Oh,
There you
Be
go.
the high man.
That's a consensus under.
that is a consensus under, indeed.
Take the money.
They're super incentivized to lose. I think they'll succeed.
All right, next up, the Toronto Raptors.
Lowry?
Yep, Lowry, 4,277.
Nice.
Harper is on the Raptors.
I am on the Raptors. So last year, the Toronto Raptors won 25 games. Big trade in the middle of the season, dishing out OG Anunoby. They got back Emmanuel Quickly, who they managed to re-sign to a large deal. They also re-signed Scotty Barnes. They added Bruno Fernando and Davion Mitchell, I guess. Didn't lose any huge names. Jalen McDaniels is at the Kings, and Gary Trent is gone. Last year, Scotty Barnes had a super, super good year. He looks like he could be an all-star in this league. He like 28-6 plus a steal and a block a game. They are still in discovering who they are mode, and they need to fill out their roster. They are not a very complete team at this point. You'll be looking at Emmanuel Quickly, RJ Barrett, also from the Knicks, Scotty Barnes, Kelly Olynyk, and Jacob Pirtle, with Grady Dick they got last year in the draft, Bruno Fernando, Garrett Temple, Davion Mitchell. There's just not a lot of depth. I think that they're just in rebuild mode. I've got them on a bit of an uptick at 32.
32. Colson, what do you think?
Yeah, so I had them at 20 wins because I didn't hate them as much as the other teams with 15 wins. But, you know, they did give away Anunoby and Siakam. They want to be bad, and so I'm going 15.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay.
I was right there with you, Colson. I don't really like them that much. I think they are trying to lose as well. They may have a pick that's in a trade that's protected or something like that, I believe. I got them at 21. So that's a big spread we got there.
That's a big stay away, is what that is.
Yeah. What is Vegas have them at, Joey?
For the Raptors?
Uh-huh.
He's got to look that up.
No, I mean
Vegas
yeah,
doesn't
so-
bet on Canadian teams.
Yeah,
is that what
exactly.
Well, Vegas. Well, I just I got 30.5 on this screen here.
Okay.
it is? Oh, okay.
which is big difference from 15.
Yeah, it's double what Colts has got.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, they were horrible down the stretch. Like,
Yeah.
and I understand.
Well, yeah, they went like 2-18 down the stretch after that trade, but I just, I think that they're going to be a little bit. I don't think that they are actually incentivized to tank. I don't think that they're going full tank.
Maybe that was last year that I was thinking.
Yeah.
Again. Okay.
I think they're tanking. I think they're taking hard.
That's the only way they're getting to 15. I can tell you that. Scotty Barnes is worth 15 wins.
Yeah, it's
That's fair. But who else scores on that team? I don't know. Is RJ Barrett going to put up 20 plus points a night?
probably.
Maybe. I guess he's going to have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quickly
Nobody
looked
else
pretty
there to
good
do
for
it.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Their best players are Knicks players. That's what's going on.
All right.
They've also got Bruce Brown. I forgot to mention, if anybody cares about that.
Next up, the Indiana Pacers.
Woo!
Who's the leading assister in Pacers history?
Reggie Miller.
Reggie.
Reggie Miller, but it's closer than you think. Who's second?
Jamal Tinsley.
No.
Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson?
No.
George Hill.
No.
Different George.
Old school. Not super old school.
Vern Fleming.
Yeah, there you go. Vern Fleming. Vern Fleming, 4,038. Reggie Miller, 4,141. Very close. All right, so I believe we're going to do a big Pacers preview next week, so we won't spend a lot of time on this one. Last year, Pacers awesomeness, 47-35. Spectacular run to the Eastern Conference Finals. But tragically, Halliburton goes down with an injury. They get swept out despite playing some really tough games against the Celts. Drafted Johnny Furphy in the draft. Picked up James Wiseman
Furphy.
to replace Jalen Smith, who went to Chicago. Re-signed Obi Toppin. Got a starting lineup, or crunch time 5 potentially, of Halliburton. I threw Matherin in there because I'm a stan. Neesmith, Siakam, and Turner. Nembhard, Toppin, McConnell, Ben Shepherd, Isaiah Jackson off the bench. There's probably other dudes. Jarris Walker didn't even get a mention. He's probably going to see some time.
Solid team, Matt.
Yes. I have them at 49 wins. What do you guys have them at?
Joey, would you mind going next?
I can do, yeah. So I got them at 46.5 wins.
Then I have them
Remember.
at 47.
Cut.
Okay. All right.
You just boxing me in.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's the minimum.
He wants to be
not be
over,
disappointed.
but yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Okay, I see.
So we won 47 games last year.
Yep.
And we only had Siakam for the last third of the season.
That's right.
This team has the experience of going to the Eastern Conference Finals. And they brought everybody back. And all of our best players are under the age of like 25. We're just going to get internal growth. We played without Matherin for like the last half of the season, and he's going to be brilliant. I had him at 54, but because I took 5 wins away from Toronto, I'm going to give them 56 wins.
Oh, I thought you were going to go all the way to 60.
I thought you were going 59 as well, because that is how I thought math worked. But I guess it's not,
Well, I'm going to
it's not.
save a couple just in
Okay,
case.
got a couple in your back
Just in
pocket.
case the next 3 teams need some
Apparently,
wins.
Vegas really like Jalen Smith.
Yeah, no doubt. Like, I don't understand how they've got us going down. I know that 56 is a little dramatic here, but I think we're easily a 50-win team. I just don't understand how we're not.
It's definitely on our to-do list.
Yeah. Our plan will be to win 50 games and get home court advantage in the playoffs, and I don't see how that's not going to happen. I've got us as the second best team in the East.
I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, I like Harper tend to be tamper down.
Yeah, it's clear you went one game under 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, yeah, and we'll talk more about it next week because I am getting very excited. So I'm going back and listening to our podcast, which I had sort of stopped listening to last year. But I sort of made it through like the whole season now, and now I'm in the playoff run, and it just got me giddy again for like how exciting that was, and yeah, it's gonna be fun season coming up. All right.
So you want to pick up Giddy?
Yeah, I think we should trade Halliburton for Giddy. Hear me out.
No.
Hear me out.
Straight up. Just straight up. All right. Next up, we got 3 more teams. The Atlanta Hawks are up next. Who do you think is the leading sister in Atlanta Hawks history?
Is it Trae Young?
It is Trae Young.
Oh,
my
wow.
gosh.
It would have taken me a while to get there.
By 2 assists.
Oh, wow.
He has 3,868 assists for the Hawks. Do you want to
Over
guess second
Wilkins?
place?
Dominique?
Nope. It's point guard.
Spud Webb.
Spud Webb is a great guess.
Current coach in the NBA. He's won a ring as a coach.
Oh, shit. Nick Nurse.
Nope. He has also lost the most 3-1 leads in playoff series.
Oh, Doc Rivers.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Doc
There you go,
Rivers.
Doc.
Yeah, he was there forever.
Doc Rivers 3,866. So Trae Young just passed him last year.
Nice.
Colson is on the Hawks.
Last year, the Hawks won 36 games. That was their first year under Quinn Snyder, who everybody was. I think I was picked them to win more games than that because I think Quinn Snyder's a good coach. They lost to the Bulls in the play-in game. Their second leading scorer last year was DeJounte Murray. He gone. They picked up in that trade they traded him to the Pelicans. They got Larry Nance Jr. and Dyson Daniels, who was a high draft pick the year before. This is another team like the Bulls that as I looked over their roster, I liked it more and more. I don't think Trae Young is a winning player, but I like the guys they've got around him. They got Bogdanovich, who's a scrapper. Still have Clint Capella. They got the number 1 draft pick, Zachary Rishisher, some French dude. I don't know.
Was it Worcester?
Worcestershire, yeah.
Excellent with the fish and chips.
And he's apparently crushing preseason, shooting well from the floor. And they also have DeAndre Hunter, Larry Nance Jr., Dyson Daniels, as I said. Jalen Johnson, who's their last year had a breakout season in his third year, averaging 16, 9, 4, and a steal and a block. And then he went out with injury, but he should be back healthy this year. I just, I had all these bad teams, and I feel like they're not one of them. I got them at 42 wins.
Harper, I'll let you go next.
The longer you talked, the more wins I took away from them.
Fair enough.
I had them at 37, and then I was at 36, and now I'm pretty sure I'm just at 34.
I'm sorry I didn't sell that.
I'll give it 35. Well, no, we'll keep them at 34. I know exactly who I can give these wins to.
I was in your ballpark, Harper. I have them at 36.
They got rid of their second leading scorer, and they didn't replace him with anybody.
Right.
A rookie, but
Yeah, they replaced him with a rookie, right? And that rookie's going to play. They're going to want him to play. And I think that's
He may
just-
start.
And
why
now
not?
it's back to the Trae Young show. So he's just going to have the ball in his hands all the time. And I don't know. I don't know that leads to a ton of wins with the complement of players that he has around him right now.
Yeah. Somehow
Joey,
I like
what
this
is-
team better with John Collins on it.
Joey,
It's going to be Jalen
yeah.
Johnson's team before the end of the season.
I like it.
No, I feel like this is the same thing that many of the companies around the U.S. are doing anyway, which is you get rid of people and then you bring in, a young person with no experience to replace them.
Sure.
And you get no vacation, and the future's dire.
Show's going dark on us, man.
Yeah, right?
Wait a minute.
Took a turn.
No, Vegas has them at 30. No, wait a minute. 35 and a half.
Oh.
35.
Oh, look, I blocked Joey in.
Yay!
Who'd have thunk it?
Almost. I should have stayed on 35, I guess. I gave you a window.
Yeah, it's a small one.
It's a very small one.
What's the saying? When Harper opens a window, jump out the back door or something? I don't remember.
Alrighty. Next up, the Milwaukee Bucks. So leading assist in Bucks history. Think of the famous Bucks. Not a lot of them.
George Hill was a guard for
Oscar
them.
Robertson.
Oscar Robertson, no. We got him last year. He was a king. Royal. It's a current player for the Bucks.
Oh.
Oh, is it Giannis?
It is Giannis.
Oh, yeah. Always
my
go with the best
God.
person, right?
3,855.
Of course it's
Very
Giannis.
low number of assists.
Yeah.
But yes, franchise leading. I am on the Bucks. The Bucks last year went 49-33. It was a tumultuous year. They got off to a decent start and then fired their coach because they were 33-12 or whatever it was.
As you do.
But Giannis wasn't happy and things weren't going well. So they fired Griffin, brought in the aforementioned Doc Rivers, who led them to a first-round playoff exit to your Indiana Pacers. Now, of course, the caveat is that Giannis did not play in that series, and Lillard got hurt halfway through. But nonetheless,
Hey,
they
a
lost
dub's a dub.
second consecutive first-round exit for the Bucks. They had a decent offseason. They brought in Taurean Prince, Gary Trent Jr., and DeLon Wright. They lost in Antetokounmpo, but don't worry, it wasn't Giannis. It was Thanasis. Lost Malik Beasley, probably because he talked too much trash about the Pacers. No Patrick Beverly, no Jay Crowder, no Danilo Gallinari. We're looking at starting / crunch time 5 of Lillard, Pat Connaughton, Chris Middleton, Giannis, and Brook Lopez. Still got crazy eyes Bobby Portis coming off the bench. Taurean Prince will play some minutes. DeLon Wright will play some minutes. Gary Trent Jr. will play some minutes. I like the additions that they made. Those are all... None of those are names that are going to, make you say, wow, what a move. But those are all professional basketball players that are going to give them good minutes. They get a full year and a full training camp with Doc Rivers. Lillard should have a bounce back season. Last year was kind of a shit show. He got traded just before the season started. Was going through a divorce, I believe, and or had just gone through a divorce and was only quasi in shape. And so hopefully
he didn't want to injure himself in the off season.
That's what it was. Yeah,
work out. Yeah.
So it should be a bounce back here for him. He showed us in the playoffs that he still has the clutch gene, for sure. And their success all depends on how healthy Giannis is, especially in the playoffs. But I think they're a really good regular season team, as they have been the last several years. I got them at 53 wins. Let's see. Harper, what do you think?
Yeah, this is a scary team. All that stuff. I'm seeing this team the same way. New coach and, new superstar. Takes time to integrate those guys, and they now have had time to do that. Giannis is going to be very, very, very hungry, and he's very, very, very good. I gave both of the wins to Milwaukee. I'll take one of those back and give it to Orlando instead. I got him at 52.
2.
This team won a championship not that long ago, and it was, the amazing play of their front court in Middleton, Giannis, and Brook Lopez, as well as defense on the perimeter with Drew Holiday. Holiday's gone. All those guys are a year older. I mean, not that Giannis is... he's superhuman. It doesn't matter if he's older. And he played, I thought, some of the best basketball of his career last year. He looked hungry. He looked angry. He looked like he wanted to win another MVP for a while until he got hurt. So I'm not taking anything away from him, but I think, Lopez and Middleton. I mean, Middleton's a huge question mark. He has trouble staying healthy. And Dame's a year older. I'm not sure this team gets really much better. I think they're about the same. I'm giving them 48.
Where does Vegas have them?
Vegas sees them as a good regular season team. We got them at 51.5 wins this season. Yeah, they're going to be good. They're always good. The question is, what do they do in the playoffs and health, of course, and I think that something they have not been able to show is like, can you play and be successful with only one Antetokounmpo?
Right.
But you've got two, you know what you got. But one,
That's right. Well, I mean, I don't know what it says when I'm rolled down on them and I still gave them 48 wins, and I'm the lowest by far. Like
I think you know what that says about them.
Yeah.
That's
they're
a really
very
good starting five.
It's a very good team.
All right, last one. Orlando Magic. I couldn't believe that this person was the leading assistant in Magic history. Like, it's just a name that was out there for a while, but then to be
Jameer
a
Nelson.
Jameer Nelson, you nailed it.
oh wow,
Well
It's like,
done.
what?
That was an excellent clue.
501 assists. Crazy. All
yeah,
right,
that's ridiculous. He's telling us great.
I mean,
kids
I guess
about
he led them to a I mean, he didn't lead them, but was on a finals team. Joey, you've got the Magic.
yeah,
more
Magic.
Hey.
So the Magic, let's see, the Magic came off a pretty good year last year, 47-35. I think really above a lot of people's expectations this season. I think that this should be a good team. It's a lot of young folks and a lot of guys that aren't necessarily the biggest names, but I think it's a team that's going to perform. They picked up Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. They picked up Kojo, which he can be at the center of a fun team and a successful team. And Tristan Da Silva. They did lose Markelle Fultz, Jingles. I think it's going to be fun. They're, Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner these guys are great. They're really solid young players. They put in points. They do everything you need, and I think they're going to be good this year. Vegas has them at 47.5 games, a full game above the Pacers.
Yeah, I think this is a great young team, and it's on the trajectory that great young teams should be. They're going to try to win 5 more games than they did the year before, and I think they're capable of doing it. I've got them at 52 wins.
52. I'm right there with you. I think they are deep as all get out. Banchero's just going to keep getting better. Just crazy. I got him at 50. That might be selling him short. Harper?
I had them at 48. I mean, they're still a young team, and they don't really have a point guard. I mean, I guess Anthony Black maybe grows into that this year, but they're just young. I really like Jamal Mosley, too. I think that he really helps his team develop. But this team ain't sneaking up on anybody, and they do have trouble scoring points at times. 48, I think, is a pretty good number for a team this young, and I would not be surprised if they got to year 52. But I got it
all over. That's a consensus over.
Yeah, definitely an over.
All right, that is the Eastern Conference. Harper, Harper calculates some overs or consensuses for us.
What's the plural of consensus?
Consensi.
Consensi? That's what I would think.
Sensei?
That's what it sounds like.
All right. So, based on our predictions, this is the order we would have. It would be the Celtics, way out ahead, and then the Sixers, the Knicks, the Bucks, the Cavs, the Pacers, the Magic. Now, it should be said that our average win total for the Sixers is 51 2/3, and for the Magic is 50 even. So that's, like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams that are all clustered right around that 51 mark. And then there's a big drop off to the Heat, and then the Hawks, and then the Bulls, and then the Cellar, the Raptors, the Hornets, the Pistons, the Wizards, and the Brooklyn Nets.
We do have,
the Pistons.
we got 3 teams slated to not make it to 20.
And Colson sets a, I don't think this is ever going to be defeated, a prediction show record with 5 teams predicted to win 15 games.
Incredible.
In one conference, mind you.
The lottery is going to be a wonderful thing at the end of the year. You know what was it? Was it Tankathon.com? Is that the place?
Tankathon is awesome.
They're going to be heating up come March.
All right, Harper, what should we go to Vegas with?
2 consensus overs in Cleveland and Orlando. And I've got 4 consensus unders with Brooklyn, Charlotte, Detroit, and the Wiz.
That sounds right.
Yeah, that does sound right.
All right, gentlemen. We're almost ready to start this season. Pacers have 2 preseason games in the books. Got 2 more coming up this week. And then things start. The real action starts.
Sweet. It's kind of snuck up on me this year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But it's gonna be great. You know, the WM. It's the time of year where the WNBA is finishing up. The finals are going on right now, and preseason NBA has started. So, and then we move on to watching a bunch of teams aim for 15.
And a bunch of other ones aim for 50.
Yeah.
It's me all or
50
nothing. All or nothing in the
those are
East
the
this
2
year.
marks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except Boston. They're going to do whatever they want, but everybody else. All right, team. Well, we will be back with you next week with our Pacers preview. And then, real basketball. Real NBA, or as Colson calls it, the MNBA calls it now.
Oh, why do I call it that?
Because it's the men's NBA.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
You were so disappointed in me. That look. That look you just gave me.
But then, we'll be getting into it. So, until then, you can find us on social media. We're on Twitter at Undebeatables. We're on Facebook.com/TheUndebeatables. Our website is TheUndebeatables.com. There's a contact form there. You can use that to send us a message and email. Shout out at TheUndebeatables.com.
For the architect Donnie Walsh and our once and always Hall of Fame coach, Bobby Slick Leonard. Turn out the lights, the party's over.
It's very tame.
Yeah, what's up with that?
What's up with that? No, I got it.
Ramping it up as we go into the season.
Exactly, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not on opening tip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is some training camp form. We expect to see some
I guess,
improvement
yeah.
by next show.
No, that makes sense. It's preseason effort. You know, he plays. You know, I could feel it for like the first half of it, and then you just checked out.
It's just
get it.
done.
Well,
Which
I
is
mean,
fine.
Out of
I mean,
gas.
look, my franchise is rebuilding. I'm aiming for 15 wins.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're on track for it.